All right. Testing. People in the building, can we hear me? Could someone throw up an emoji for me real quick? Make sure we can hear me. Arden, what's up, brother? CFP rankings, week 2. Can you hear me loud and clear? We're good? We're good. Ranking show just getting underway on ESPN. Do a live reaction to start the show. Casey, what's up, brother? How are you? Arden, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. I get this ranking show started. Ooh, what a weekend of college football. I was on hand for Indiana at Penn State, unfortunately. So, witness that firsthand. Hell of a play. Hell of a game. That was one of the best Penn State game. I mean, the outcome obviously didn't go in our favor, but just holistically as for a game, that game was unbelievable. So, all right, they're just going over the formatting again for the playoff. Once again, it is worth noting that the playoff is straight seeding this year. It'll go to the top last week it didn't go like that because Virginia was outside the top 12, yet it got in as the ACC automatic bid. So 4 highest ranked conference champs plus everyone else falling in line after that. Roddy.
Oh, my bad. What's up?
You good. Rankings just coming out now. We have Cincinnati, number 25.
Okay.
Can you hear me? We're good, loud and clear?
Yeah, you're good. Mm-hmm.
Straight. 7-2, Cincinnati, number 25. The South Florida Bulls come into number 24 with the best group of 5 quarterback in the country.
I think that means they're going to be at the 12th spot.
Yeah, I mean, unless they somehow put JMU above them.
I'll be shocked.
It's South Florida or JMU for me. What's up, Roddy? How are you? I know you just got in here, but
living the dream, man. Ready to see this top 25.
For sure.
I'll see.
How the fuck is Tennessee still ranked? Tennessee comes in at number 23.
Yeah, man. They love them. Committee love them.
Pittsburgh, number 22, moving up 2 spots. 2 spots, and they didn't play.
Okay. Not surprised.
Yeah, so
they got a big matchup.
So
they're putting them in position.
Pitt will host a presumably top 10 Notre Dame team. Of course, they're coming to of course, the biggest game of the weekend arguably is in my city, and I won't be in town for it, but it's all right. That's a different story. Priorities.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, man. You can't always be everywhere all at once.
Right, especially when the lady is calling. Iowa, number 21, dropping 1 spot.
Really? Oh, okay. That's 3 losses for them?
That's 3 losses for them, yeah. And that's also huge for Oregon, too. That still counts as a ranked win as of right now.
Okay.
The Louisville Cardinals dropped 5 spots to number 20. Yep. After their second loss to California.
Unranked Cal.
And Jaron Sagapolatele. If I even said that correctly, I hope. Virginia also drops 5 spots. They're at 19. So top ACC spot right now is Georgia Tech or Miami.
think it's Miami's coming next.
Michigan, 18, up 3 spots. Go on the road to Northwestern. Now, they do play at Wrigley this weekend, but don't overlook Northwestern. That's all I'm going to say for right now, because I overlooked Northwestern as a Penn State fan, and we got beat. So, hung around with Nebraska a couple weeks ago. The Southern California Trojans at number 17, up 2 spots, 7-2. So USC will host number 17. USC will host 21 Iowa this weekend. Number 16 Georgia Tech, 8-1. So that means Miami right now will be the ACC representative in the playoff.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Somehow Carson Beck can throw a combined 6 interceptions in 2 games, and they will still represent the ACC.
Mm-hmm. Fix is in, bro.
Speaking of Miami, they are up 3 spots to number 15. So 15th ranked Miami will be the last at-large bid in the playoff.
Big win against Syracuse, huh?
I mean, it is Loyola Syracuse with that man Fran Brown at head coach. Did you see that video of him with what's his face, Michael Irvin?
Nah. What did he say to him? I saw it was kind of like controversial.
They shook hands after the game, and he was basically just talking shit to Michael Irvin. I'm like, bro, you just got your ass beat. I'm like, you have no room to talk, especially to one of the greatest NFL receivers of all time. Like, what are we doing?
Hey, man, my coach is shameless. I wouldn't mind him back at Georgia, but
my coach. Number 14, the Vanderbilt Commodores surviving Auburn this past weekend in overtime. 13, Utah stays put. So the committee's still pretty high on Utah. Outside shot to make the playoff as an at-large bid. I don't see it that way, but
me either.
I mean, at this rate, BYU and Texas Tech are playing each other again for the Big 12 championship. I think only the winner of that game will get in.
And Utah's 12?
Utah is 13.
Okay, so BYU might be right here.
BYU will be around here, yeah. But, of course, you can't put Utah above them because Utah lost to them head-to-head. There you go, BYU, number 12.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Drop 5 spots. So 11 is probably going to be Texas or Oklahoma.
I think it's going to be Oklahoma. They're going to put Texas at 10.
As I say, whoever was lower last week is probably. So we're going to get a top 10 showdown in Athens.
We are.
Yes, we are. Oklahoma, number 11. We will have a top 10 showdown between the hedges. Somehow Texas is back in the top 10. Who would have ever saw that coming? Not me.
Yeah. Telling me. Well, no, I actually knew it, but it's okay.
So number 11 will go on the road to a top 5 team this weekend in Alabama. There you go, Longhorns of Texas, number 10. Well, by the way, just speaking on that Oklahoma-Bama game real quick, I have a sneaky feeling Bama lays BTA. I'm not gonna lie.
I see it the opposite way, brother.
Whoa.
I see it the opposite way. I think Oklahoma can win.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma's defense didn't really look great against Tennessee. Still gave up a shit ton of yards and still somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, but I think easier offense to defend.
No run game. No run game whatsoever for Bama.
There was a combined 109 rushing yards in that game on Saturday.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Notre Dame at number 9. Go on the road to number 22, Pittsburgh this weekend. Oregon up 1 spot to number 8. Coming off a huge win at Iowa. We'll play Minnesota on Friday.
So then Texas Tech, Ole Miss, and us are next.
Yep. Ole Miss dropping a spot to 7, so they put Texas Tech up a spot with that win.
Really?
I mean, yeah, top 10 win at the time. Yeah, Texas Tech, number 6 in the country.
Okay. I'm not mad at it.
So for perspective, they view Tech, so they have Texas Tech a whole 6 spots above the next highest ranked Big 12 team in BYU. Okay. I mean, then they beat them in that fashion.
Yeah, they whooped his ass. They whooped their ass.
Yeah, just like the whole country was on. Texas Tech was going to belt them, and they did. Roddy, your Bulldogs are at number 5. I would assume this top 4 stays the same unless they flip Indiana, A&M. Bama, number 4. Does Indiana and A&M flip? Wow, they kept A&M at 3, Indiana 2, and Ohio State number 1.
All right.
Wow.
Well.
All right. There you go.
Can't say I'm shocked.
There you go. I really thought they were going to flip A&M and Indiana. I'm not going to lie.
I think, if it was at home, I think it would have happened. Given it was on the road, I think they, gave it a little. Because what? You went, so you would know. Was it a sellout crowd?
It was not. Probably at least half the student section was empty, I'd say.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, the normal like seating for fans was pretty full, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there was a good turnout of Indiana fans. Very good turnout. All right, so now they're just going through the bracket. So I can tell you the matchups. So as of right now, South Florida, ranked 24th, would get the G5 spot. They would go on the road to Georgia in the first round. 15th ranked Miami, the current ACC representative, would go on the road to Texas Tech. Texas, number 10, would go on the road to Ole Miss. And the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame would go on the road to Oregon in the first round.
That would be lit.
That would be insane. That'd be a great 8-9 matchup. Texas Tech, I think, would roll Miami. I'm not going to lie. Busy B, what up, my guy? Ole Miss, Texas, so you're already eliminating one SEC team in the first round? Wow. So the winner of Notre Dame, Oregon would play Ohio State in the second round. Georgia would beat South Florida, then play Bama.
Wouldn't it be poetic? I really thought they were trying to set up that rematch with Miami type of thing, but
winner of Texas Tech Miami would play A&M in the second round.
Ooh, Tech and A&M would be a movie.
Tech and A&M would be crazy. Is the Cotton Bowl one of the New Year's Six bowls that they use?
Yeah, they're switching them. So what were the 4 last year?
I know Penn State had Fiesta Bowl. That was Boise State. Oregon, Ohio State was the Rose Bowl. Goodness.
We were Sugar Bowl with Notre Dame.
Yeah, in Texas, Arizona State were Peach Bowl.
Peach Bowl.
Yeah, because Cotton Bowl was Ohio State and Texas in the semifinal.
Yeah, so Sugar Bowl is going to be one of the semifinals. And
Dude,
then,
imagine the Cotton Bowl hosts A&M and Texas Tech in the second round. Oh,
oh yeah,
that would
West
be
Texas versus East Texas.
that would be a movie, bro. That would be insane.
West Texas versus East Texas and North Texas.
That would be a movie, bro. All right. Quick recap of the full rankings before we dive into the show. 25, Cincinnati. 24, South Florida, the only G5 team in the ranking. 23, and somehow still ranked, the Tennessee Volunteers. 22, Pittsburgh. 21, Iowa. Louisville at number 20. Virginia at 19. Michigan at 18. USC at 17. Georgia Tech at 16. Miami at 15. Vanderbilt 14. Utah 13. Brigham Young at 12. Oklahoma 11. Texas 10. Notre Dame 9. Oregon 8. Ole Miss 7. Texas Tech 6. Georgia 5. Bama 4. A&M 3. Indiana 2. And the Ohio State Buckeyes remain at number 1. Roddy, first immediate thoughts.
Expected it. Like I was saying before, I think Indiana winning that game on the road holds their spot for them. I think Texas A&M obviously had a more dominant performance, but I mean, what Zollers went like 7 for like 25 passing, so I can kind of get it. Not a lot of surprises. I think on the back end, if you look at the teens in the early 20s, they're kind of still setting up some teams to, if they can get an upset, maybe, you know what I mean? Because we still got just in lower level matchups. We got a Vandy in Tennessee at the end of the year. What else do we have? We have, hold on, let me see. Let me look up the list. We still got a USC Oregon, so that's going to happen. I mean, of course, we still have the game.
A&M Texas on Black Friday.
Yeah, A&M in Texas. That might not mean anything after this week, but
True.
Got Oklahoma and Bama this week, so that's going to be huge. Let's see. I think Texas Tech is clear of any matchup. BYU and Utah are still clear of any matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech, they still got to play us on Black Friday as well. So, maybe. But yeah, man, I think I don't have any egregious ones to me. What about you?
Right off the rip, I mean, the only egregious one is Tennessee. Still have no clue why Tennessee is ranked. Kind of surprising, the parity between the two Big 12 teams at the top. I mean, I get that BYU and Texas Tech just played, and Texas Tech just beat the brakes off of them, but to have them at now a 6-spot gap, that clearly shows the committee really only thinks that one Big 12 team is going to get in, I think.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at the rest of BYU and Utah's schedules. BYU has TCU this week. Utah, I believe is on a bye. But still, I mean, their schedules the rest of the way aren't really anything crazy. So that, I feel like that win, barring they don't lose the conference championship game, I feel like that win for Texas Tech on Saturday basically solidified their spot in the playoff as the Big 12 rep.
I think that was their last test. Even if I think they win a close one to BYU,
yeah,
I think they get in.
Yeah. I mean, I put out, I'll put it up in the Jumbo real quick because I put it out earlier today. I still think Vandy has a very good shot to be the last at-large spot, solely because of their resume. They do have 2 losses, yes, but at this rate, if Tennessee stays ranked, you go into Neyland at the end of the season and win that game, I think they have a shot at being the last at-large spot. I currently have them just slightly above Georgia Tech. I also have JMU as my G5 rep right now. I mean, I was back and forth between them and South Florida. It's really just who you prefer, who you think is the better team. Yeah, I mean, my updated rankings were pretty spot on, other than I had Georgia Tech in as the ACC rep, only because I think they will win the ACC at this point. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, nothing too crazy. Again, I think the ACC is also still one big league. It's really going to be between Miami or Georgia Tech, at least based on these rankings. Maybe if Pitt, wins this weekend, gets a huge win out of conference, and then runs the table, because I think they only have one loss in conference right now. So, yeah, and I mean, other teams at the top keep getting like resume boosters for teams that they beat. So like Oregon just beat Iowa. Iowa's still ranked, so that looks like still a great win on Oregon's resume. Just trying to look at other teams who beat each other. Obviously, Texas Tech just beat BYU. USC plays Iowa this weekend, so if USC gets another huge win against a ranked opponent, they will keep going up. And that just looks like a great win on paper. Obviously, the game at the end of the year, that'll be huge for Ohio State's resume once again, even though they are locked for the Big Ten championship. Again, beating a ranked opponent always looks good for your resume. So, yeah, I think Vandy personally has a great shot at the last at large spot, just solely because they do play in the SEC. They have great wins on their resume. They did beat a ranked LSU team at the time at home. They beat a ranked Missouri team at the time at home. Now their two losses, Bama and why am I blanking on Vandy's second loss? Texas, yeah. And you came back in that game. For the most part, the score doesn't represent how bad you got beat in that game, but score looks close. So, yeah, I mean, if their only two losses are to two teams that are in the top 10 and have a chance to finish in the top 10, and then you go on the road, you beat potentially three ranked teams, and one of them is on the road at Tennessee. I think that's a really good resume. And you have to think at the start of the season, they beat a ranked South Carolina team. They went on the road to Virginia Tech, which is never an easy place to play, and beat the brakes off of them. So, I mean, I think Vandy's resume stacks up pretty well against the teams around them. Personally, I think their resume is better than Utah's right now. I potentially think their resume is even better than BYU right now, just solely based on the competition that they've played. I mean, what's BYU's best win right now?
Probably Iowa State.
Utah?
I mean, yeah, Utah. Yeah. I mean,
you beat them by 3, and that game was at home.
Yeah, and a rivalry game. Yeah, so that's why I said Iowa State, probably, given where they were. But it depends on how you feel about, where they were when they played them. You know what I mean? So
for sure, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, rankings aren't too egregious, but yeah, I think Vandy has a really good shot getting that last at large spot for sure. Yeah. Any other thoughts on the rankings before we move on, Roddy?
Nah, not any. I mean, I'd say these last week was the preliminary. Jesus Christ, the word almost beat my ass. And I think the next couple of rankings are gonna mean a little bit more. I think I just to speak on us personally, I think we went out. We can't really move. Like, to be honest with you, nobody in the top 4. I don't think anybody in the top 4 is losing. Bama, again, I'm concerned if I am them in this matchup. I know they get it at home. I get it. They're very hard to beat in Tuscaloosa, but we'll go over this week, so don't worry. We'll get to it.
Yeah, for sure. Just a quick recap of this past weekend, week 11. Ohio State BTA against Purdue. Indiana survives on the road against Penn State. Late heroics from Fernando Mendoza and Omar Cooper Jr. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that game too much, but that is arguably the play of the season as of right now. Oregon escapes Iowa City with the win. Walk-off field goal from Atticus Sappington is their kicker's name. Walk-off field goal to win at Iowa. Texas A&M, huge win on the road at Missouri, beat the brakes off of them. Other matchups, Wake Forest knocking off Virginia. Cal going into Louisville and upsetting the number 15 ranked Cardinals in overtime. Called both of those games on the Thursday show, so didn't place a bet on them or anything, but called those upsets outright. So, and then Wisconsin, good for Luke Fickell, bro. Good for Luke Fickell. Let's give a round of applause for Luke Fickell.
I mean, thank God he's got a punter that can throw. Jesus.
I mean, yeah, when your punter's your leading passer, that's a problem. But it's enough to beat then 23rd ranked Washington 13-10.
Fall off from them.
Yeah. Georgia on the road at Mississippi State. Everyone thought it was going to be a trap game, especially look ahead spot to Texas this coming week. Roddy, you guys took care of business pretty handedly. I'm not going to lie from what I watched of that game.
When that line started moving, like it started at 7.5, like on Tuesday, and went to about 8.5. I said, "Oh, okay, I know what time it is. I'm gonna go ahead and get in on this 9.5." And yeah, man, look, complete win. Gunner's gaining his confidence week by week.
For sure, yeah.
Still making mistakes, but of course, he's a young guy. But I think coming back next year, man, that's gonna do him wonders. So we'll see. But good win.
Yeah, and I was looking at all the lines of the noon games just before I went into the Penn State game, and I almost grabbed that 9.5. I was like, "Ooh, that's really tempting." Not gonna lie, but I didn't pull the trigger. So, and then lastly, Alabama somehow covers against LSU 20-9. As Roddy mentioned earlier, 109 combined rushing yards between Alabama and LSU. Bama has no semblance of a run game right now, but that's a good segue actually into the main segment I wanted to do for tonight's show. Who are the real contenders right now in college football to win the national championship? So I put this into Copilot, just simply ask the question: who do you think are the contenders, for the national championship? Obviously, put out the obvious answers: Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Alabama, the top 4 teams. Also put Georgia, and surprisingly, it kept Ole Miss in this conversation. It said both working with 1 loss and but capable of crashing the playoff party. That's what Copilot said. So, was kind of surprised it kept Ole Miss in that conversation, but I guess based on rankings, it had to put them there. Oregon, Texas Tech, they had as dark horses, but it said the overwhelming favorite, and its pick was Ohio State. So, and Lowe also just got up here, so curious to get his thoughts too. Personally, after watching them in person this past weekend, Indiana is legit. And Indiana is very, very legit. You go into State College, Pennsylvania. Now, granted, it's not the same Penn State team that everyone had at the start of the season, me included, but you go in there without your number 1 receiver. You just got your starting middle linebacker Aiden Fisher and your captain of your defense back from injury this game. So, like, who knows what his impact on the game was going to be based on his injury status. Fernando Mendoza, bro, like the opportunity I've had this year to watch Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza just absolutely dice up that Penn State defense and just stay fully composed. Didn't even break a sweat. It looked like, going into that hostile environment, who says Indiana can't go on and make a run at the national championship, bro? Fernando Mendoza is really like that. He might seem corny. In his interviews and everything. Like, just he some of the plays he was making, just the awareness to get the ball out under pressure. He was pressured on 29 of his 30 dropbacks against Penn State. 29 of 30. And he still only had, I think he only had 1 or 2 incompletions. Like, yes, he had a costly pick late in the game that almost led to their loss, but still, like, just his awareness to get the ball out, take what's given to him, throw it away. Like, he only got sacked, I believe, 2 times, 2 or 3 times. And on 29 pressures, bro, like that's insane. So I'm not saying Indiana is my favorite to win the championship. Obviously, in my mind, and probably a lot of the country, it's still Ohio State. But Indiana, dude, if they fucked around and win the national championship, I wouldn't even be surprised. I'm not gonna lie. Curious to get your thoughts, Roddy and Lo. Welcome up.
Yo, Lo, you can go first.
I jumped in late. I'm late as hell.
You're good.
What's the talking point?
So I was bringing up who we thought would be like the real contenders for the national championship right now. Not even just based on rankings, just who you think are the real contenders to win it all at this point.
I mean, I think it's Ohio State and it's everybody else. Like, for me, it's a clear separation of how teams are playing. Like Indiana, they could have been beaten twice this year. The game in Oregon, they could have lost that game, but they prevailed and won that one. And then the game we saw last week, they could have lost that one. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for the excellent catch by Cooper in the end zone, fantastic throws down the field by Mendoza along the way, but these guys could have lost that game. So when I'm looking at clear cut, just absolutely dominates game in and game out, that would be Ohio State. Like, Ohio State hasn't really been close with nobody. They've beaten everybody comfortably. They've beaten everybody dominant fashion, in my opinion. There hasn't been any game that they've had to sweat out or had to come from behind late to win that game. Everything they've been winning comfortably. So I would say it's Ohio State and it's everybody else. I mean, when I mean everybody else, it's a large field as far as who it could be that ends up facing off versus Ohio State. But that's how I feel. For me, it's Ohio State and then everybody else.
For sure. And I got no pushback to that. Ohio State's dominated everybody that they've played against, and they've looked really good doing it. Mainly when you, in my opinion, have the Heisman front runner, Julian Sain, and you're throwing to the best receiver in the country, the 2 best receivers in the country, with him and Tate. So yeah, I got no pushback at that for sure. Roddy, your thoughts on who could be contenders for the national championship right now?
I think since Lo gave Ohio State love, and even though they're weirdos, I tell y'all that all the time. I mean, A&M, man, I just, like, we talk about it, me and Lo are obviously SEC fans. We talk about the prospect of, wow, Texas A&M got all this money, man, but they're consistently, a 9-3, 8-4 program. Like, if Elko can get shit together over there, man, it's gonna get dark, bro. It just is. Like, they have too much money. They've got the recruiting pool. They've got really everything they need. They just need a man in the front that's gonna lead the charge. So I'm very impressed with that football team. And I'm not even gonna do my Marcel Reed thing, man. He's been nails. Like, if I have to be honest.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I usually would, but he's been nails, bro. I can't lie. He's been nails. So I think, and again, I'm saying this until the cows come home. Like, if Bama is favored over them in Atlanta, I think it's simply the wrong line. Just do. Like, I think they are head to toe, unless injury happens to one of their key pieces, either on the offensive line or one of their pass rushers. I think they're head to toe the best team in the SEC. So, but yeah, Texas A&M would be one. Interested in co-pilot looking at Ole Miss. I mean, I would think that they're going to maybe give a team some hell. I don't know if their defense is going to really hold up when it comes playoff time. And I think that's going to be a real major factor. But Other than that, man, I think it's Texas A&M or Ohio State. Ohio State would be the only team I favor over A&M right now. Like if I was making the line. So yeah, that's really it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I also got no pushback to that. Marcel Reed's probably number 2 in my opinion for the Heisman. I mean, Mendoza's also been great, but Marcel Reed's where he put A&M on his back all season. So I got no pushback back at that either. Probably, I still would have to go with Ohio State. I agree with everything that Lowe said about them. I think there is a separation between them, but I think Indiana or A&M, again, if they fuck around and make a run at the national championship, I wouldn't be surprised. They both looked really dominant all season against everyone they've played. So got no pushback at that at all, even though I do have a ticket on A&M, or not A&M, on Bama preseason to win the Natty. So that's the only pushback I got on that for sure. Sosa just got up here, so we'll get his thoughts as well. Sosa, how are you?
What's up, y'all?
Chilling, bro. You got any thoughts on who are contenders for the national championship right now?
Ohio State.
And there's a separation between them.
Yes, like a sizable gap between them and everybody else. We just gotta be honest about it, bro. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they have given up 14 points one time all year.
I was about to say, what did you say the one time they were like the evil empire or something like?
Yeah, they're entering right back to where Alabama was, as far as we talk again. I always bring up the whole transfer portal thing and whatnot, right? Like, bro, again, they have my bad. I got a phone call.
No, you're good.
But in the first year of the transfer portal, they got the number 1 recruit out of high school and the transfer portal. How exactly are you supposed to compete with that?
Yeah, I mean, and shoot, as long as Ryan Day's there, they're going to go on a run for sure. All right, let's look ahead to some games this weekend. So with the new rankings out, we have a handful ranked matchups this weekend. We'll start with Roddy's game, arguably the biggest game of the weekend. We have number 5 Georgia hosting number 10 Texas, and I was pulling up Onyx for the current line.
Spread is locked for me.
I was about to say it is locked for me as well. I don't know what it didn't it open. I don't know what it opened at. I'm not gonna lie.
It opened at 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so we'll just go off of the opening line. So Georgia opened as a 6-point favorite at home against Texas. Obviously, this is a rematch of the SEC championship from last season. Georgia ended up winning that game with Young Gunna coming in at the death to win the game in overtime. So these are two very different teams from last season. Texas obviously was down to start the season, but has obviously made a huge comeback to be the number 10 team in the country now. Beat the rival Oklahoma, got a huge win against Vanderbilt. So they've been looking a lot better, especially that offense the last few weeks. Georgia, classic Georgia team, really good defensively, although they can't pressure the quarterback to save their lives. Gunnar Stockton has constantly improved throughout the season. So curious to get Roddy's thoughts. We'll start with him since he is the resident Georgia fan. So, Roddy, thoughts on your Bulldogs?
I said it at the beginning of the season. I'll say it again. I'm only going to talk shit about 2 teams. That was during the Ole Miss week, and that is during this week. We are going to whoop the shit out of the Texas Longhorns this week. I know they're coming off a bye. I don't really care. All right, this is easily the best team, top to bottom, that they've seen all year. I won't say that because Ohio State. They played Ohio State in week 1. I'll reserve myself. Okay, but I just think the offensive line issues are going to rear its ugly head. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. And I don't think you're going to be able to pass the ball 50 times against Georgia and expect to win, man. I just don't. Like, you cannot be a one-dimensional football team and beat Georgia. So, you can give them your best shot if you think they're going to win. Put your money on them, but I think this is I'm taking the 6 with the Dogs. I just am very confident in this team, and I think you're going to get some of the same problems that Pavia created for Texas with Gunner, but I think he's a better passer, and I think we're also going to just be able to run the ball a little bit more than people would maybe think initially. So I got Georgia. I got them winning around like 27-17 Dogs.
You want to do your best impression of a Bulldog?
Oh no, that's for Saturday. Don't worry. I gotta get hyped up, man. You know what I mean? I gotta get hyped up for that, man. But when Saturday comes and the lights get bright, I'll be ready. Don't worry.
Trust me, I believe you. I've heard your Atlanta Hawks impression. Trust me, I know. Immediate thoughts on Georgia and Texas coming up.
Yeah, where's that game? Is that game in Georgia?
It is at Georgia, yes, sir.
You gotta give me the Bulldogs, dog. It's tough to go in there in between the hedges and win a fucking football game. It just is.
Facts.
And on top of that, I haven't been impressed with Texas on the road. Now, if it had been at Texas, different story. But I haven't been impressed with Texas on the road. I think their two losses came on the road this season that they have, right? If I'm not mistaken, Ohio State, and then they went on the road and lost to who else was it? Somebody who's on the road. But I like the Dogs here in this spot. I think which I said number 6.5.
I was gonna say it's locked for me right now on Onyx, so I can't see.
Yeah, but the 6.5 is like -109, so it's about 6.5. But
Yeah.
That was Florida low that they lost to second team.
The second team was Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was on the road
And that was on the road too, right? That was at Florida.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't trust Texas on road. Once again, if it was in Texas, cool. It could be a conversation, a potential for Texas to win that one. The only thing that scares me with taking the Dogs in the 6.5 points, I would like to believe that the Dogs do kick their ass, but I've seen the Dogs where they do just enough to win football games. And as Sosa has alluded to before, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? When these coaches are looking at it at this time of the year, they don't give a fuck about the spread. They don't care about blowing you out. And it's a quality opponent. You don't have to win by fucking the spread. You don't have to win by double digits. Get the job done, win by 2 points, get out of there, and it's a quality win. So I don't know about the spread, but I do like the Dogs because it's hard to come into Georgia and pull out a win.
For sure. Sosa, thoughts on the Longhorns and the Bulldogs?
Give me Texas. I think Texas
Whoa.
has found their footing. I think Texas has found their footing. I think their defense is still the best one in the SEC. Prove me wrong. You're going to say Alabama, right?
Nope, I won't.
You're going to say Georgia? You're going to say A&M. You're going to say A&M because of the pass rush, right?
No, I think
I'm asking. No, I'm asking. I'm just asking. Because here's the thing, bro. It's like, I think that if Texas' offense is functional, they're good enough to beat anybody with what they can bring on defense. They are. And I think that this week we about to find out what they're really made of. They're 7-2, right? They're 7-2. Okay? The last 2 games have been probably their worst 2 defensive games of the season, and they've been able to score enough points. I mean, I think they'll give you guys problems. I don't think it's some like foregone conclusion that Georgia just walks through them. I mean, it's interesting too that you're confident or on that side to the point where you're like that. I think it's the complete opposite, my friend. I don't think it's an easy walk there. I think Texas will give you guys hell.
I heard the same thing last year.
Yeah, but the thing about the old days is they're the old days.
Absolutely, I agree. Look, I think Texas is a formidable opponent. I'm not gonna sit there and say they're fucking Austin Peay or Marshall, but
Then again, you did struggle against Marshall.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up being a win at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So who
You're right.
cares?
You're right.
But
All that matters is to win the game.
I think Sark's offense is not hard to game plan for, man. And we've seen that. Like, they have, and that's why I had so much debate last week about Texas and Utah. Like, yes, Sosa, I will agree with you. They have the best loss, but they also got the worst loss too in the top 10, easily, by far, bar none. So I'm just saying, I get it. I understand why people on Texas, and I wouldn't be mad at you if you bet on Texas. I just think we're gonna beat their ass.
Yeah, and again, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at you being a Georgia fan. And listen, there's not a ton of reasons to believe in Texas, but I just think that I think that they're a better football team than some of the play that we've seen has suggested. That's all.
Let me go over to Colton, because I know we were talking about this. We were talking about this game earlier. He potentially has some X factors on either side that could contribute to the outcome of this game. And Colton, I also appreciate you coming up, bro. I know you've been feeling under the weather, so appreciate you coming up to speak, brother.
No problem. Yeah, I'm coming off IR for this one, but I just felt it in my soul. I had to let the people know about this one because it is weakness on weakness. The Texas offensive line has not done Arch Manning any favors. I know people will be quick to say that he's just terrible. He's not. We've seen that the past couple of weeks. When he's given time, when he's given opportunity, he can be a very good quarterback. In the last couple of weeks, he has done that. Specifically last week, and last week he got sacked a total of 0 times. And Georgia is one of the least sack heavy teams. They get some of the least pressure on the quarterback of any SEC team, of any Power 4 team. So I do think that even though Texas somehow doesn't have a run defense, despite having 2 great running backs, you could argue 3 great running backs, that Arch Manning has been able to make it work despite that. And I think Roddy said it earlier that Georgia's offense is better overall. I would agree with that. And Texas doesn't have that run offense, but we have seen in the Tennessee game in Neyland Stadium, Tennessee's running game wasn't that great. I think they had 120 total rush yards, and they were able to almost win that game. I think Georgia's defense isn't necessarily world beaters this year. They're not going to force you to win their way. They're not going to, make you be, even if you're one dimensional, you're not going to be able to exploit necessarily their secondary isn't going to be able to just shut down Arch Manning and have it be 30-15 or whatever. I think if they do get home against Arch Manning, that will make a huge difference because they haven't been able to do that at an efficient rate all season. I think you could see a double-digit win if they can get him on the ground 3 or 4 times, but I don't think that happens. I still have Georgia winning just because I think their offense is better overall, but I have Texas beating the spread. I think I have them by 5.
For sure. Appreciate that, Colton. I mean, I agree. If Georgia somehow can muster up 3 to 4 sacks and at least pressure him a good amount, I mean, that's a recipe for a Georgia win. Not gonna lie, I agree with that. CJ, you just got up here too. First of all, how are you? And any thoughts for Georgia, Texas before we move on?
Things going good. How we doing, fellas? My thoughts on this game, kind of similar to what you guys have said. Texas run defense is really good. They haven't given up too many high rushes this year. I think they're top 10 in the country at stopping the run. So that part of their defense is really good. But to Roddy's point, as far as overall defensive talent, when Texas does see good defenses, Arch has tended to struggle, like the Oklahoma game, or if you want to go to the Florida game, their offense tends to be a slow starter. Obviously, Wisner had a decent game last week, even though it's Vandy. That was probably one of his better outputs, and I know him and Baxter have kind of been sharing the backfield workload this year. So Arch hasn't really done anything crazy impressive this year. I know he has such high expectations. If you do get pressure on him, I think he can be knocked off his spot. I'm going to give Georgia the edge here because they are at home. I think Gunner and the way they do run the ball, especially using Gunner's legs, I think that's going to be a an extra caveat you can have to prepare for as a DC, just because they're so explosive. And they have like 3 or 4 running backs they use, and obviously all the receivers they can get the ball to. So it's going to be a tough game. I think both defenses. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely lean towards the under. I think both teams are going to try to stop the run and make both quarterbacks beat them with their arm. But I think obviously being at home field advantage, I think Georgia does stop Texas a couple of more times to get them the game. But I'm with Sosa. I think it's a close game for sure. I think the spread is 6.5. I definitely think Texas covers that for sure. But I'm going to give Georgia the money line for sure at the crib.
CJ, you really just had to steal. You really just had to steal my thunder, bro.
My bad, bro.
No, you're good. I was gonna mention the under because I saw it was at 48.5. That might be one of my best bets this weekend. I'm not gonna lie, because I think this is a slugfest. Not to the sense of Oregon and Iowa this past weekend, where it was just simply raining and freezing, like in that slugfest in that way. I think both teams are just gonna want to smash each other in the mouth. Pause, but just want to impose their will on each other in the run game and in the trenches. Personally, Georgia bringing in a top 12 rush defense, and Texas 96th in the country rushing offense. They average 135 rushing yards per game. So if Georgia's able to contain Wisner and the other backs that Texas uses, again, as we all mentioned, if Georgia can muster up some pressure on Arch Manning, make him uncomfortable, put him off his spot, that's definitely a recipe for a Georgia win. But probably my favorite play right now is the under. Totally agree, CJ, for sure. Just because he did come up here, so I want to get his thoughts, and I probably know what he's about to say. But Sosa's Notre Dame Fighting Irish going on the road to the Pittsburgh Panthers. Number 9 Notre Dame at 22 Pitt. Sosa, let me get your immediate thoughts, because I know you were talking up a smackdown of Navy, for probably 2 weeks. You literally were saying that they were going to beat shit down their leg, and that did in fact happen. So curious to get your thoughts for your Fighting Irish going on the road for what some people think could be a trap game.
Bet money line.
Oh no,
I guess not.
Yeah,
he's good. He's good. Hey, Roddy, what do you think? Notre Dame at Pitt.
Yeah, I sure. I mean, I can understand.
Numbers 11.5, by the way, for the speakers.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm like, oh. I get what Pitt did against Florida State, but hey, I told y'all Clemson was going to win last week, and they did. I just think Florida State is a lonely dog. I like what my guy Pat Narduzzi is doing over there, but I don't think they get over it. I think they'll be able to run the ball at will. They have the 2-headed monster in the Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. I don't take Notre Dame spreads personally, because they haven't necessarily been a covering machine, to say the least. But I like Notre Dame in this spot, man. I think they probably skate until it's playoff time.
Low thoughts on Notre Dame and Pitt?
Yeah, so I was just looking at Pittsburgh's schedule. This schedule is piss poor. So they face Stanford, NC State, Syracuse, Florida State, Boston College, Louisville, West Virginia, Central Michigan, and Duquesne. There's only one team that I mentioned here that is above 500, if I'm not mistaken, and that's Louisville. The rest of their opponents are under fucking 500. If you look at Pitt right now and you see them at 7-2 and you just read record, you'd be like, damn, this is a pretty good football team. But when you look at who they faced this season, I mean, they've had a damn cakewalk. All right, this is terrible. And the one challenging team that they went up against, Louisville, they lost to. And then they lost in that rivalry game to West Virginia. This is another spot where I almost feel like BTA with Notre Dame. Notre Dame's schedule, when you look at who they've played, they've had way, way stiffer competition. Even though they beat shit down Navy's leg, this still is a Navy team that has played pretty good football this year. but they haven't played any good defense. But they've had to go up against USC, Boise State, Texas A&M, Miami. You know what I mean? So Notre Dame's strength of schedule has been way, way tougher than what Pitt has seen. I do like what Pitt has been doing here as of recently. Their quarterback looks fantastic. That freshman off the bench looks good. But I think that Notre Dame wins this one. Notre Dame knows what's in front of them. They know they have to win with style points. They know they can't afford to lose any more games also, or they're out of the playoffs completely. But not only that, but they also got to win these games with style points. So because they don't play in a conference that, they don't play in a conference, they don't have a conference championship game. So they know they got to keep winning this with style points. I like Notre Dame here in this spot to continue, putting belt to ass to its opponents. So I'm laying the 11 or 10 and a half. It looks like 11 and a half right now on FanDuel. Shop around for that for sure. I know there's other books that has it at 10 and a half, but I think that they do get the job done. I think they win by 2 touchdowns or more.
Appreciate you. Sosa just got back up here, so let me get his thoughts on his Irish.
Yeah, listen, I don't even at this point. I don't think stop points matter. I think we win today. The next 2 games are a relative walkthrough, and the committee has no chance of leaving us out at this point. Just as long as we win, I don't even I think that we're the better football team. I do like Pittsburgh's young quarterback. I don't think he'll be there next year. I'm pretty sure he'll hit the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Heinz School, is he starting? Who's starting? Holstein's not. Is Holstein playing? Who's playing for them?
Nah, Heinschel.
It's Heinzel, right?
It is
I
Heinzel.
know they've had a couple issues, not necessarily issues, but some stuff going on there.
They benched Holstein for the true freshman, and he's been cooking.
And he's been hooping, right? Like
yes.
I saw him play well. I saw him play well against Florida State. That's not really saying much to me. Yeah, I think we're the better football team. And I also think that, like, last week we had some people sit out because of injury due to trying to play this week. I think, listen, Notre Dame wins this week, then it's a preparation for a bowl game and a playoff spot and a playoff game, because I think what we'll do is we'll sit a bunch of players and we'll just try to get right physically. I can see a situation where Notre Dame may have to go on the, we're definitely going on the road for a playoff game for the first one I think, and that's basically all I got. I think that we win this week and we prepare for bowl season.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I don't think Notre Dame has to win with much style points. I think they just have to win, period, any which way about it. And I think they're in. By the way, the current playoff standings, Notre Dame would go on the road to Oregon. That would be a fucking movie. That would be an insane game. Let me go over to Colton and get his thoughts for this game with Notre Dame and Pitt.
Notre Dame laying the points.
There you go. Short and sweet. I like it. All right, bro. Who haven't I got to? CJ?
As far as Notre Dame, fellas, do we think that as far as like the side of the bracket they're currently on, they would have to play Ohio State, correct? So for them, obviously, we know they've seen them before, they matched up. Would they prefer to be on the side of the bracket without them? Like maybe see like an Indiana or maybe a Texas A&M? You think it'll be an easier route for them to get to the championship? Or do we think it doesn't matter for them?
I don't think it would matter personally. I mean, I think they would like to play Indiana just solely for like bragging rights in the state. A&M, I mean, they hung around with them. They literally lost on the last play of the game. So yeah, I think they would prefer to be on the other side of the bracket just solely because, I mean, they played Indiana last year. They but they lost at A&M by 1 point this season. And Ohio State kind of took care of business pretty solidly in that championship game last year. So that's just my thought. I think they would prefer to be on the other side. Yeah, that's not a bad thought though, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see Ohio State early. You know what I'm saying? You would prefer to see Ohio State as late as possible, preferably championship if you could, because it's just, that's not where you want to, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm Notre Dame, and Sosa could speak on it if he like, I would much prefer to see Texas A&M or Indiana opposed to Ohio State early.
I
Always
think
good.
you're speaking for every
Good.
team in the country when you say that. I don't think it's just a
For
Notre
sure.
Dame thing.
For
Yeah.
sure,
It's
absolutely.
not just a Notre Dame thing. It's no one wants to see Ohio State in a playoff game. Like no one wants to play them, bro. They're the best team in the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just
Go ahead.
just a quick pushback to that. I mean, we saw Ohio State get hot last year and make a run all the way to the championship. What Sosa was about to say, I don't think anyone wants to see Ohio State, period, any round, no matter how late or early in the playoff it is.
Listen, Ohio State was also great all year last year until they played Michigan. Like we got to just be honest, bro. Like outside of the Michigan game, you can't really show me a game where they played terribly or were bad.
Is Sosa talking? Can
objectively.
anyone hear Sosa?
Yep,
Yeah, we can hear him.
I can hear him.
Can you hear
I just
us
can't
at this
hear
point?
anyone.
You can't hear anyone, Reed?
Hold on.
Reed. Yeah, it's you.
Go to the other phone, brother.
No, those were my exact thoughts. With
Oh
Losa. I
boy.
feel like I'd rather play a team like that I've seen before, especially two teams on that side. You have film on them. Obviously, you can go out there and make adjustments. They can probably do something different you haven't seen before. So that'd be a much better matchup for them too, especially rather than playing Ohio State in the second round. That'd be a terrible matchup. And Ohio State too.
Also, by the end of the season, it won't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not where they'll be. By the end of the year.
I agree. Y'all be higher.
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for sure.
Yeah, not even if they're not. It's like I don't think those will be the matchups.
Yeah, things are gonna move around. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, how do we view Indiana? What if Indiana beats Ohio State in the Big Ten championship? What if that happens?
You lucky Jones ain't
We
here.
don't. No, I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. You know what I mean? Like
That's the game, though. You know, you're right. That's the matchup. If Indiana's going to slip up, like looking at their schedule, that's the only game I can realistically see them losing. Like they got Purdue the rest of the way. They don't have any teams on their schedule outside of the Penn State one. No disrespect, Reed. That was the one they could have lost, and they won it. So,
yeah, I mean, all right, I'm just going to be straight up. They should have lost that game, bro. Like let's
they should have.
Let's be fully honest.
You definitely should have won for sure.
Yeah, but that's how it goes, right? Like it's a game of inches, and that's what it is. But again, like what Ohio State showed us this year, bro, it's gonna take something special to beat them. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a team's A++ effort to beat them. That's for sure. I think
you need them to make a couple of mistakes. They not making mistakes.
Turnover. You got to get a turnover.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like if you can get a couple of turnovers off them, cool. But you can't. The motherfucker Julian Sanders on pace to break the record for best completion percentage in the history of football, college football.
Yeah, I was about to. I don't know if it updated against Purdue. I would assume it didn't. But you want to know how many times he got sacked? He's gotten sacked this season.
Less than 10.
3. Again, I don't know if it updated against Purdue, but going into that game, it was 3. Yeah, just ridiculous. Just real quick on
pretty
that.
Good.
Yeah, pretty good. Real quick on that Indiana thought. Yeah, I mean, I think it just shows that they are capable of winning really any style game. I mean, obviously they've blown out the majority of the teams they've played this season. They have the ability to go on the road or in a hostile environment, like at Oregon, and capable of winning a game. They're capable of going in a hostile environment and coming back after not having your best performance, and winning a game at Penn State. So I think it just shows that they're, I guess I want to say like a variable team. And I mean that like they can win any style game, whether it's a blowout or, a close like fist fight. So that's all I meant by that. One more game I wanted to preview tonight. I have a little bit of a shorter show. A lot of people have things to get to. It is a Tuesday. So just one more game for the panel to talk about. We have number 11 Oklahoma going on the road to number 4 Alabama. The line on Onyx, I believe, was 6.5. What I looked at earlier today. Someone can fact check me if I'm wrong. But Oklahoma going on the road to Bama. I don't know how. I really don't know how.
6.5 right now. Reed. 6.5.
Appreciate you. My computer's being slow. So yeah, curious to get the panel's thoughts because I I don't know how Oklahoma really wins this game other than Bama, not having any sort of run defense, and they're facing a top 5 run defense in Oklahoma. We saw Tennessee be able to throw the ball up and down the field on that Oklahoma secondary and still came out with a win. So curious to get the panel's thoughts on it. I saw Colton put his hand up for a second, so let me throw the mic to him real quick.
Yeah, I think you started off on a good note there. I mean, I do have Alabama winning this game just because I think they're built to last. They're a marathon, not a sprint kind of team.
I agree.
But I think there absolutely is a route for Oklahoma to win this game because, like you said, the run defense, but not only the run defense, like we saw obviously this is week 1 and this is Florida State. We got to keep that in mind. Florida State is at dog now. I don't know what happened to them, but we saw them do exactly the correct thing in stopping the run, forcing Ty Simpson to pass, and then when you force Ty Simpson to pass, get pressure on him, and then it really moved him off his game. And obviously he's looked a lot better since. But I think Oklahoma, one of the better teams at getting pressure on the quarterback, maybe the best team at getting pressure on the quarterback. I think they lead the country in sacks per game. So I think if you stop the run effectively, you make it 3rd and 7 every single drive, and then you get pressure on Ty Simpson, whereas he hasn't been under a ton of pressure and has been able to win in the intermediate with the run game being so effective. I think there is a definite disaster scenario for this game where Oklahoma can just because we saw Tennessee. Say what you want about Tennessee, their defense isn't great, but I didn't think Oklahoma had the offense to beat Tennessee, in all honesty, and they did. So I get Alabama's defense is really good. I do think they win this game ultimately, but I absolutely do see a world where if they do exactly what Florida State did in week 1 and can get pressure on Ty Simpson and not let their running backs just gash them for 6-7 yards every single play, that Oklahoma could win this game outright.
For sure. Let me go Roddy next.
Alabama better be careful, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, we got to really look at, and this is my thing. Okay, as I've watched the tape, and I don't mean to be that guy because I watched the all 22, and I like there's a lot of coaching flaws there, man. Like there's a lot of 2 guys doing one job on defense and offense now. I watched the tape yesterday. It's 2 linemen blocking the same backer. There's, issues with the run game, obviously, and that's, contributing to that. So, look, I get the Kalen DeBoer stuff. Like, I understand why he got that job and why he's revered as a great coach. But Grubb and them, like, Womack, they've had some fatal flaws this year, man. They really have. So, I think Alabama can grit out a win, but this is probably going to be the toughest game, like, that they have all year at home, at least. Because I think Mateer, the one thing he can't do is turn the ball over. And that's why I can't confidently pick Oklahoma to win the game. Because I think he is due for a turnover. I think he will be a little bit reckless with his accuracy. And I think that's going to end up, opposing a Bama win. But I like the 6.5. I think this is going to come down to – I predict this to come down to 5.5, and that is obviously a dog line. My bad, I muted myself. So I wouldn't be shocked if they win. But I think they need to be careful, man. It's not good to LSU has a better front than maybe people would assume because of how the seasons went, but they can't run the ball at all, man. That's not good. So give me Bama in a very, very close game, like very, very close.
Yeah, this game, just for me personally, gives me vibes of the Texas game. You have a team that can't really run the ball effectively, but does have explosiveness at the receiver position. It's really just how does Alabama use the receivers. Like an X factor for me personally on Bama's side offensively is Isaiah Horton. I mean, he has the ability to take the top off the defense just aside from Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard. So, I mean, you're relying on Horton out of the slot most of the time. So, I think if he's able to attack the Oklahoma defense, especially like if they're playing a cover two, and he just runs a cover two beater like a post or a seam up the middle, like he's gone if you hit him. So just a X factor on Bama's side for me personally. Let me throw it over to CJ. Thoughts on the Sooners at the Crimson Tide?
I definitely think it's a close game. I know Venables will have his team ready to go defensively.
For sure.
This is probably the best offense Oklahoma has seen probably since the Ole Miss game. They played at home last month. So obviously it's going to be a lot of stress on that defense because like you just stated, Simpson has weapons for days. Like we just named 3 to 4th receiver. We didn't even mention their tight ends who can also catch the ball and make plays for them. So it's going to be a stress on that defense. I think Mateer's legs will extend drives, and I know their defense hasn't been the best this year as far as rushing the passer, like Roddy just stated. So I definitely think if they can get off the field a couple of times, it'll give them a chance. I would love this game a lot more if it was in Norman, but the fact that it is in Tuscaloosa gives Alabama the edge. I just don't think Mateer can score enough points to keep up with Bama because, yeah, you may stop him for a drive or two, stall him out, maybe if they get him early. But when Simpson gets rolling, man, like part of the time this year, we haven't even seen Ryan Williams even take over most games because I haven't even needed him to.
I know.
Because they have so many weapons. So it'll be a good game. I think Venables' defense will keep him in it, like Roddy stated. But I think ultimately, if Simpson touches anything close to 30 points in that offense, Mateer is not good enough or have enough scoring output to keep up with them realistically. So I think Bama, if they can get over, and by halftime, if they have 21 or more, I think that's pretty much cooked for Oklahoma, to be honest.
Just a quick pushback on that, CJ. I thought the same thing in that Tennessee game. I thought Oklahoma had no ability to keep up with a track meet with the Tennessee offense. Somehow found a way to win. So
I was very disappointed the way and it's Joey Aguilar, so I can't have crazy expectations, but the way they stalled out in the red zone and turned the ball over a couple times, that was shocking to see for sure. Because they should have blew him out.
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to say I had that same thought about that game with Oklahoma. So let me get to Sosa. Thoughts on Oklahoma going to Alabama?
Oh man. Oklahoma performed really well on the road the last time we saw them on the road. I honestly, I'm non-committal on this one, man. I will just have to lean towards Alabama have not lost a single home game under Kalen DeBoer, and I think that's what you lean on. They don't lose at the crib under DeBoer. If I'm going to pick a reasoning, that's why.
He's undefeated in the black hoodie, correct?
He's never lost at the crib, ever.
He's lost in the black hoodie.
Never lost
at
at
the crib.
Never lost at the crib.
Okay, I don't know about the black hoodie shit, but I know for a fact he's never lost a home game.
He has never lost a home game. That is a fact. Let's finish it off with low. Thoughts with Oklahoma and Bama?
Yeah, Alabama is so fucking one-dimensional offensively, like you gentlemen have been talking about.
Yep.
I mean, all you got to do is stop them from getting the ball down the field passing. You don't got to even worry about their run game. Their run game has absolutely been atrocious this year. They're 121st this year in rushing the football. Like they're damn near bottom of the in the country at running the football. They just haven't looked good at running the football, and that's going to be a problem. Like you better try to figure that shit out in the next 3 weeks before you get in the playoffs, because in the playoffs you're going to have to run the football effectively. You can't just be a pass only team. Teams will just be able to tee off on you. They just start sitting and put a 3 shell up top on you and then just absolutely crush you. So I was a little shocked to see that Alabama is 121st in the country at rushing the football. Like that's not going to get it done. This is probably one of the better defenses for sure this year that Alabama's going to see in Oklahoma. Like you guys all been talking about with Venables, he's going to have that defense flying around the field, making stops. He's probably not going to really have to worry too much about the run game. And if they do need to start worrying about the run game, I think he'll make adjustments to that. But I think that his main emphasis is going to be stopping the big play from happening versus them down the field, similar to what they did with Tennessee. They kind of stopped Tennessee from being able to get that downfield shot versus them and kind of kept everything in front of them, is the reason why Tennessee's offense was kind of bottled up, because they couldn't get the deep shot downfield.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to come in with kind of almost the same game plan. Keep everything in front of you. Don't give up the big deep shot downfield, and Oklahoma will have an opportunity to, be in this game. Only thing with Oklahoma for me is Matir. At times, Matir makes some really, really stupid decisions on the field, and he'll end up giving up the cheese to the opponent. And if you give it up in bad field position, then you kind of put the game right there on the doorstep for Alabama. It's always, once again, it's hard to win in Tuscaloosa. DeBoer's undefeated at home. He hasn't lost at the crib. So I think it's going to be a close game. I'm taking the points with Oklahoma plus 6.5. And then I'm going to be interested to see if Alabama even tries to get anything going with the run game. If not, I think it kind of makes it easy for Venables and his defense to kind of tee off and probably do a 3-high shell and keep everything in front of them.
Also, PSA: if Jones DMs you, do not respond. His page has been hacked.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, Jonesy got hacked.
Yeah, his Twitter got hacked.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It just happened like less than an hour ago.
Yeah, it's gonna be an uphill battle trying to get it back too, because it's the crypto niggas that got him.
What?
Yo, how?
He clicked. I know. Well, what happened was he clicked the link. He for sure clicked the link in his.
Somebody DMing him. Yeah.
In the DMs, like you got listen. When niggas send you links in the DMs,
don't click it, bro.
Don't even click it. Like don't. That's what happens. Them crypto motherfuckers is.
Damn.
Wow.
Don't respond to any of them DMs. That be like people that don't follow you. Don't respond to them, bro.
Yeah, bro. Fuck all that.
Fuck.
He's trying to get it back, but I just want to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? I know we all follow him in here and we're all cool with him. We're all friends with him, you know what I'm saying? So like I don't want y'all to think that he's sending me a DM. Nah, he's fucking hacked.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I just see the tweet. I see that crypto tweet now that the hacker put out. That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah, and it could be people that follow you too. Like I had a dude that followed me, like, "Oh, vote for me on this podcast award thing." Yeah,
that was Jose. He just got hacked this week too. It's crazy, bro.
Dude, I got one. It was like a message request from. It was another it looked like a college football podcaster, but I'd never heard the dude before. Wasn't following him. He wasn't following me or anything. And it had a link in it to like a Google sheet because they were doing like a poll or something for their fan base. I was like, I ain't doing shit, bro. I was like, I don't know you, bro. Like, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have to send him a text after this. That's crazy. Well, on that note, Low, Colin, CJ, Roddy, any final thoughts or games you want to preface real quick before we get out of here?
Season's coming to a close, man. I'm just excited.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna get another good. We're gonna get the games are gonna get better, and the stakes get higher weekly. So we're just we get to find out who has and who doesn't. I really also can't wait to see what the biggest upset is this week, because we're gonna get one. Well, one of these teams is gonna lose that no one's expecting, because that's just how it goes.
I might be rocking with Woo Pig this week, man.
Man, you say this every week.
Last time.
You say this every week.
They burnt me last time, but 11:45 a.m. start, 5.5 line against LSU. Sorry, Low.
Man, why you mouth breathing in the mic, bro?
Hey,
my
yo.
bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little congested. It's a little cold out this month.
It don't get cold in Atlanta. Shut up.
Yeah, hey, it was 31 degrees today. Thank you. Anyway.
He said thank you.
I'm looking at New Mexico State's team total.
Roddy, have you ever seen snow before, bro?
Absolutely. It was snowing yesterday. It was flurries yesterday. All my life it was flurries yesterday.
That don't count, Roddy. We talking about real snow.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about at least like 3 inches on the ground.
Snow on the ground, Roddy, not in the air.
Oh yeah. I used to live in Boston, so yes, I have seen real snow. Don't worry. I know what it is.
What were you saying about New Mexico?
I like their team total. I do.
Where they
I know it's gonna be crazy. It's 9.5. They're playing Tennessee in Neyland. I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy.
New Mexico or New Mexico State?
New Mexico State. I know.
Mm.
Y'all gonna think I'm crazy.
9.5.
A game that's interesting. Let me see. I'm about to look that lineup right.
I know. I know. Tennessee's wearing the like gray. I forget what they called them, but the gray uniforms.
Yeah, the gray joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already went over that. Virginia Duke. That's gonna be interesting. Again, Miami.
I'll have more thoughts on that game on Thursday for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, I gotta look at that. I think Texas Tech belt the ass. USC's probably gonna whoop Iowa. And there was one more that I wanted to talk about. Mississippi State and Missouri. Missouri's a 7.5-point favorite. I think they might whoop the shit out of Mississippi State, Missouri. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
They definitely should, but we'll see.
I think they're gonna whoop the shit out of them.
All right.
That's just me.
All right, you know how Sosa was talking about team potentially getting upset this weekend out of nowhere. Might have found it.
I think I found one too, but it's kind of spicy.
Watch out for the North Carolina State Wolfpack on the road at Miami. Miami is laying between 13.5 and 14.5 points. NC State just put up 1 billion points on UVA a few weeks ago. Watch out for CJ Bailey, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Can't wait to clip this on Saturday night when NC State pulls off a huge upset and eliminates Miami from the playoff.
Speaking of UVA, Reed, can I interest you in Duke plus 5.5 home dog?
I told you, bro.
That's one of my dogs this week.
I might be on everything Duke this week. Haven't officially locked.
Me and Lowe been betting Memphis TDs all week, so that's been one of my favorite props.
Dude, yeah, I should have. As soon as I got on Onyx, bro, I should have been hooked on Mensa passing touchdowns. He's been cashing. That's been locked every week. Yeah, I've seen that for sure. What else? What else is here? Roddy, you said Mizzou, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, everything Georgia brought to them, Mizzou's about to bring to them. The run game, the defense, I think Zollers is going to have a way easier time. And I don't Shapen got hurt, so I don't know what his status is.
But he's hurt. That's nasty for sure.
But the backup kid is like a 5-star, bro, or he's a 4-star. Like Kirby wanted him. He was talking about that in his interview. So I think it might be a close game. But
well, Kirby also wanted the 5-star plus quarterback that just decommitted and flipped to Vanderbilt. So
he didn't flip. Stop telling lies.
Oh, sorry. I was just telling the future. My bad.
And also, Reed, did you look at Navy USF? Any thoughts on that one? Or
well, shoot.
We think USF rolls.
Shoot. What's the total? Like 64.5 or something? It's like the same number that it was for Navy and North Texas a few weeks ago.
Let me see. I got USF by 10.5.
When you look at a game like that, again, it was the same thought process for Navy and North Texas. Like there's going to be 1 billion points. Both these teams can't play defense. Yeah. I don't know. I might take one of their team totals to be honest, but it's at Navy. Dude, I definitely
want to check weather to make sure everything's like nothing crazy or nothing.
That and just talking from personal experience, like I've been to Navy games. Also, shout out my pops. Because it is Veterans Day, shout out my pops, military veteran, Marine veteran. So appreciate him and his service. And anyone else listening that did serve in the armed forces, we appreciate you very much. Just real quick, shit can get crazy at Navy games, bro. It's a smaller stadium for like a Division I program. So like the fans are basically right on top of the field. You have the whole cadet, like the cadets basically take up 1/4 of the stadium by themselves. So, I'm going to say shit can get freaky at Navy sometimes. But again, the best group of 5 quarterback is going in there. Byron Brown, love that man. So, yeah, I think South Florida wins. I might have a play in that game later in the week, but I don't hate it. Shoot, there was one other game. Oh, Sneaky nightcap. Boise State at San Diego State. Shout out the group of 5. This is a game for probably one of the spots in the Mountain West championship game, alongside with UNLV. So winner of this game basically locks up a spot in the Mountain West championship game. So sneaky nightcap game will probably have something on that as well. Because San Diego State, 7 and what was their record? I have it here. 7-2, 4-1 in conference. Boise State 6-3, also 4-1 in conference. Also TCU at BYU. BYU should not overlook TCU. Also put that out there. Especially could be a sleepy spot off of a blowout game last week. So
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. I don't know if Baylor's defense is just good God. Or no, you said they're playing TCU, right?
still point still stands.
Yeah.
I mean, neither one is good. So yeah, you're good. That applies to both.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Colin.
One thing that I've been looking at, I don't know what it is on Onyx, but on FanDuel, it's Texas A&M minus 18.5 versus South Carolina. I have been leaning back and forth on that. It feels like, South Carolina on the road, against Texas A&M. It feels like coughing baby versus atomic bomb. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if South Carolina is going to be able to go into Kyle Field and score 24, 27 points and, not let Texas A&M score in bunches.
You're getting 19.5 on Onyx. Don't hate it.
And I believe a few weeks ago it was either Lowe or Sosa was talking about how piss poor Charlotte is. UTSA minus 18.5.
Yup.
In Charlotte.
Yup.
I love that. I love that one.
Man, everyone's stealing my thunder tonight, bro. Yeah, bro. Already wrote that down as a lock for the week for sure. Yeah.
Well, last one I'll mention. I know we're trying to get out of here.
You're good.
Oregon, 25.5.
Sneaky.
Things that make you go,
Sneaky. Also, I'm gonna say it. It's also on Friday night. Clemson, bro. Clemson, little old Clemson at Louisville. 2.5. Little old Clemson. Little 4 and 5 Clemson.
The over is also a pretty solid play there.
Yeah, 49.5. Yeah.
If Miller Moss tricks that off, bro, and I want to back Louisville so bad, and I'm probably gonna ladder Chris Bell's receptions because it's been a wagon for me the last couple of weeks. But my head is telling me don't bet Louisville, but my heart wants to bet Louisville. But I just, like you said, it would be some Clemson stuff to go in there and upset Louisville at the crib.
That's what I'm saying,
Because they
bro.
shouldn't have lost last week to Cal, but they did. So it's like, well, if Cal did it, then there's no reason why I think Clemson can't go in there and pull that off.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
And all year, Clemson has been privy to the dogfight. Like, for some reason, they just get up for games but can't win them. Like Duke, that game was like 80 or whatever total points, 83. I think it could be similar here with Louisville.
For sure. No doubt. All right. That is all I got. Any final thoughts from the panel before we sign off?
Nope. Appreciate you letting me speak, Reed. Thanks, bro.
Of course, CJ. Anytime. Always.
Thank you as always, man. Hey, tip your waiters and waitresses.
For sure. And also a reminder, check on your people, bro. Always check on your people. Make sure they're doing good. Even if it's a simple text like, how you doing? How's your morning? How's your day going? Stuff like that. Always check on your people. I'm gonna keep saying that now every show when I sign off, because that show last week from Sosa really hit me hard. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, always check on your people, bro. Mental health is a real thing. We always gotta make sure our people are doing well. Family and friends, for sure. All right, for me, Reed, host of Love for the Game. Whoa. Colton, Oh No Sports, CJ, Roddy, aka Perlito, Sosa was up here. Life, Chi-Town Picks, Busy B, Juice, Fendog. Appreciate you people tuning in. We will be back Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. The preview show, best bets, further in-depth analysis of the biggest games coming in week 12. Again, appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you all to the speakers once again. We will be back here Friday, same time, same place, 5 o'clock Eastern, Twitter Spaces, and YouTube. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on Thursday.